just I wanted to give you guys a chance. Paula printed it out to look it over, and like I said, that's how it works. And she gave some examples in there, you know, with the bigger.
So we're talking about single trash hauler. These are all questions that have to be answered. We have to decide all of these things. So you can answer them and send them back to me after you've answered them. You don't have to do it tonight, but these are parts of the ordinance in West Bloomfield, okay? This is the West Bloomfield ordinance. So you can read over the West Bloomfield ordinance and mark it up with what you don't think we should have and with what you think we should add to it if anything is missing. This is West Bloomfield. Now here they really went overboard in accommodating people. You can get curbside pickup for $208 a year. Senior curbside is $196 a year. Then they have door side where they come to your door for $379, or senior door side is $367. Who keeps track of, are the seniors there? Have they moved out? That's like nuts. And Rochester Hills, who has the same company, incidentally, their prices are quarterly here. For 2018, it's $48.72 for 2018 for a quarter.
How much?
$48.72. That's
It's on the
lower.
last page.
That's lower than anything that West Bloomfield has. $48.72.
Round up $200.
$200 a year.
Yeah.
Okay, I got something here from White Lake. You want to look at this later on down the road?
So I've got White Lake
Oh,
too.
beautiful.
They are, their prices are monthly, $13.77 for 2019, $165.24. And what's really weird about this is they're all GFL, Green for Life, every one of them. So it goes from $209,
Depending on the kind of service you want.
yeah, say $208 a year, down to $160. And it's all GFL, and it's all the same stuff. So you have negotiating.
That's White Lake in West
Oh, I
Bloomfield.
see, they just gave them a better rate.
Yeah, they just negotiated something better. White Lake, all the township's dumpsters are free. That was something they negotiated. You don't charge us for the dumpsters on our property. They won't pay. And it all includes everything. Compost, recycle, garbage, and free large items. You just have to call to set it up.
Did you look at Commerce?
I didn't.
Commerce and Republican, Dave Scott said they're very, very happy with it, but then again, Steve Kaplan said they're very happy with West Bloomfield,
Yeah.
and Rick
I didn't
Coolwell
want
said
to
they
have
had
too much stuff, so just pick an ordinance and, you know, mark it up, what you like, what you don't like. And answer these questions so that we know what we should incorporate in our ordinance.
This one here, this I'll stay for, is this West
West
Bloomfield?
Bloomfield.
That's what we'll do.
So you want this by the end of the week, beginning of next week?
Whenever you get it done, just scan it, send it to me, or
We should have it done before our next workshop session, so we can move on it.
well, after we compile our thoughts, we're gonna have to give it to the attorney,
Right.
so.
That's why I say the sooner the better, we should have it all done by our next,
Or
workshop
before.
session.
Yeah.
I mean, we can move on this by the end of June. If the year's over, we can move on an ordinance.
So this is homework for everybody anyway, homework.
We have been inundated with emails as of late.
Yeah.
Sure have.
Well, you know, I think this is the time to do it because the people were so loyal to Smith, they've sold out. And Advance bought them, and now Advance is upping their price,
Yeah.
and the people aren't happy with the service, so they're ready to move.
I got my bill right here from Advance. Mine went up $10, $10.72.
Some people went up more than that.
Mine went up 20.
It's got that recycling fee and fuel cost. Plus, they only pick up 8 bags now instead of 12.
12,
Sales
yeah.
used to pick up 12.
At a time?
Recycle. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yard waste.
Yard waste, yard waste.
Got a lot of garbage going on.
And then everybody got that email that I sent that 92-year-old lady that she has lawn care. But
Right.
Put 9 bags out and only picked up 8. So my sister had to go across the street and
Okay,
put the bag up in
from
the
work.
garage because she's,
Right.
92 years old.
My sister put out 3 the other day and they didn't get picked up, so,
Well, some of, people haven't had any pickup for yard waste in 2 weeks.
you know.
And then there's a deadline too, like there's a cutoff date, isn't there in the fall?
Yeah,
Well, there always
Yeah.
is.
Right.
there
Our
is,
neighbors
yes,
missed it and it was out all winter.
usually it's right around the 1st of April and the end of November.
The first week they picked up, I had
December,
6
January,
bags out.
February, March, 4 months, you don't eat.
It stayed outside overnight in the rain, and they picked them up the next morning. Some nights they don't pick up on the pickup day, they pick up the next day. It's very,
So they need to call advance or whoever the carrier to find out
I've
what's going
gotten
on.
emails from people, they call advance and they can't even
They
get
don't
through,
answer
they
the
don't even
phone.
return the calls.
It takes about a half hour according to one of the
Mm-hmm.
emails that we got.
Well, it sounds like it's that time to
Yeah, I left mine on speakerphone the other day for 48 minutes and finally,
give up.
you know, this was down in the office, I left it on. So anyways, more to come on that, but so you got that, the comments, read it over, fill it out,
Question here?
yes or no,
Yeah.
put your comments in.
Okay, grab mine, I was all over the board.
So, okay, we've got Chief Lyman here. It's an item on tonight's board meeting agenda that him and I discussed. There was a breakdown in communication. My intent was to get it priced together. Let's review it, see where it's at. And apparently I told him to get a price together and put it on the agenda, so that was not my intent. So again, the breakdown of communication was on my behalf, nobody else's, but it's on the agenda, and it's not budgeted for, so it's something we need to look at. Again, this is another reason for the SAD. We don't have the funding for essential equipment and stuff that we need for our first responders. Police department was able to get it with 208 funds, but again, fire doesn't have it. They've been in training for the better part of a year. They're creating scenarios now for active shooter training where you go into warm zones, not hot zones, but you go into warm zones. And they bring first responders in, you bring your EMS people that go to work. People that have been, that have been shot and need attention, so people that were bleeding out before, maybe we can bring that to an end. But at the same time, they need the equipment to go in to do it with.
So there's 6 sets right now, isn't there? You
So we
said
have 6 plates,
6 plates.
6 chest plates.
These are modern day plates, right?
They're brand new. We bought them last year. Mhm.
Modern day plates.
All of Oakway bought. Oakway put together a purchase.
Okay.
And this is for our EMS people, and we have 6 of those.
We have 6 sets. We have,
I mean, we have 6
we have s-
rescue vehicles, right?
right.
So we have 1 set for each rescue vehicle.
No, we have 6 plates. Each guy needs a plate, so we have 2 teams of 3.
When you say plate, chief, are you talking
Chest
about
plates.
a vest?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
The one that the police
Wait.
got, they wear, that's one that goes over their everyday bulletproof vest. It's one that goes over that.
So
And
it's
they're-
probably more protection, like I wore a flak vest, there's probably more protection with the plate, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's for modern day ammunition, you know what I'm saying?
We didn't buy helmets, but
Sure.
we bought the plates. So
How about the weight?
they're not bad weight-wise.
Really?
They're not going into full fire.
You think
They're
it's
just
carbon
wearing.
fiber, or would it be, is it metal?
They're steel. Yeah, they're
There's
steel.
still plates,
Mhm.
So, again, there's 6, let's call them vests.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there are 6 ambulances, so if there's 1 vest on every rescue vehicle, there's 1 for every EMS guy. The fire inspector shouldn't be going into a scenario like this, administration shouldn't be going in. We just need our EMS guys. So until we can sit down and look at a budget and not go further into the hole, I think we should table this until our next budget.
Well, I would disagree that administration wouldn't go in, but that's, you had a detective that shot and killed shot the guy on Dixie Highway, and I happen to be right there myself, so, administration may go in. I'm still a paramedic.
Well, that's my question now, you say you got 6 vehicles, how many occupants per vehicle?
2.
2.
Two, so you
Two for
only
each
two
unit,
plates,
right?
2 plates per vehicle, right?
Well, the way training has been is it's 3 paramedics with 2 police officers. That's the way the training has been.
So is it the police officers get the plates, not the paramedics?
Correct.
Okay.
But again.
Well, they have theirs.
They always have theirs.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
Because they would be the
In-
ones
in
that
every-
would
in
go
every-
under the active shooter.
any patrol car, they're in every patrol car.
I think patrol and detectives both have them. And I know everybody has rifles now. After the active shooter event we had, everybody at the department has rifles now, including the chief and the deputy chief. You got a rifle that's sighted in for you. You're not picking up somebody else's gun. You shot a rifle enough to know what sights in for you doesn't work for me and vice versa. So you want the weapons, you know, they practice on them. They shoot, I think, bi-monthly with the rifles, and they keep them zeroed in. And it's like you said, it's just that you want in a situation like that to minimize everything you can minimize. And again, we want to get our first responders in there as quick as we can get them in there and bring the situation to a halt. And hopefully this is equipment doesn't end up collect dust. We never need it. That would be the best case scenario. But at the same time, we need it. So my suggestion would be to pull it off the agenda for tonight until we have the opportunity to review things and go over them. Like I said, the chief and I agreed to disagree. If either argue or quarrel over it, we just pull it off the agenda until we have the opportunity to review it, see what we have, and then go from there.
That's the
I mean,
smart
I would-
fiscal move.
Yes, in a perfect world, I would love to grant this, but with our situation right now with the SAD, I think we've got to look at, we've got to wait and look to see what's going to happen in August. Which is just 3 months away. That's it.
Less than 3 months. And I've talked to other agencies too, and I've said, John, like I said, Oakway, everybody in Oakway is in the training. And you guys have been at it better part of a year, haven't you?
Almost 2 years, I think.
Almost 2 years have been doing the training. And I also talked to Mike McCabe in municipalities where the sheriff's department does policing and they have their own fire departments. They've been in with the training on those ones that aren't in Oakway. They've been training those fire personnel too, fire and EMS personnel. So it's the right thing to do, but at the same time, you know, we're budgeted for 2018, we're budgeted $1,080,000 expenses over revenue. So again, like I said, it's just the money's tight. You know, it's like I said, it's something we can, you know, it's all the more reason we need an SAD. Like I said, for police and fire, for equipment, essential equipment. You know, vehicles, equipment, maintenance on our current vehicles until we're able to replace them, you know, plus adding manpower. And like I said, on our buildings, we got 5 fire stations, 1 police department. For the maintenance on them, they're all getting older and stuff. And again, there's deferred maintenance that's been pushed down the road and pushed down the road. But when it gets to the point when it fails, then it has to be done. You know, typically, you like to, with your household, you like to fix things before they go bad. You want to fix the road before it leaks, not after it does. Because then you got paint, drywall, floor covering, you got all the other follow-up damage that goes along with it. So you do preventative maintenance, but you know, it's better to be proactive than reactive, but we're not in that situation where we've done a lot. But again, the funding's not there. There's a lot more that needs to be done, so. Something worth thinking about and looking at. So again, my suggestion is to pull it off the agenda and then bring it up at a later date. Okay? Okay. Where's Karen?
She had to take a call from Justin.
Okay. did get a call the other day from a resident about Syrian refugees. Did
There's
anybody,
a blast from the past.
heard anything on that lately, or
No.
anybody talked about it? Okay.
Not a word.
They were in fear that the Iran nuclear situation was gonna escalate the exodus of refugees from Syria, so.
Got these residents for
The guy gave me his first name only, he didn't tell me where he lived, so I talked to him for a few minutes. Told him where we were in October of 2016, and to the best of my knowledge, it hadn't changed as a board. Speaking for myself, it hadn't changed, but, and I just said I went on the list, told him about a survey that I did, you know, with veteran panhandlers at intersection. And 2 out of 200 people contributed to them, so that's 1%. That's not a high rate, you know. And but you just look at things. We've got, again, in our country, we are, and locally, we're inundated with disabled veterans, homeless veterans, you know, and just homeless people in general. And just like I said, the money is not there. Just veterans as a whole, you know. I'd take my dad over to the VA hospital in Ann Arbor, I think it was, years ago, and it just, like I said, it's just like, Jesus, he was overseas 41 months in World War II. Should have been worth something, in my opinion, but we didn't treat him with it. In fact, I had to leave with him one day because he threatened one of the doctors, so it wasn't the smartest thing to do. We had to leave and come back another time, but it just, it's one of those things, you know, and to take on more and take on more and take on more when we can't take care, and again, this is just my opinion, we can't take care of what we currently have adequately, you know, and especially I'm kind of soft towards veterans, and for good reasons. And like I said, there's a lot of veterans that can't get the help that they need because the financing's not there, the money's not there. So if we're going to put money to work, let's, you know, let's put it to our own people who are in need right now already.
Priority one.
But these are people that are already here and they're already in need, and just we have to prioritize in that respect.
Try again. Did you try both?
Okay, the other night at the special board meeting, we talked about the parking lot on Frebbe's.
Correct.
There's 2 people that weren't here for that meeting. You and Tony.
Right.
And we said we just, we went over and looked at it. Tony and I have talked since, you and I have talked since, but just like, it's a parking lot that Gary Dorby said we bought in '53. I thought it was 50, but the township bought it in 1953. It was a 15-year plan. They were gonna make it metered parking. And then they never did do that. And then after 15 years, they extended another 15 years. And after that, I never got, the agreement never extended again. Bottom line is, we still own the lot. It's our responsibility to maintain that lot. With responsibility and ownership comes liability. Without that lot, those businesses cannot exist. The businesses need to buy the lots. That's it. Trustee Healy, who's not here, but he suggested that we put it on the market for a year to find out what the actual cash value of that lot would be, okay? But the lot is affiliated to the buildings. We don't have any control of the buildings, just a lot. There's the buildings, there's a 20-foot right-of-way easement behind them, and then there's the parking lot. Trying to take the retention pond, the parking lot and stuff, I don't see it as a real valuable piece of real estate other than for parking. But again, this is just my take on it. So, but if we go another year, that's another year we have to maintain it, plow it, mow it, pothole patch it, you know, that's our responsibility.
And Russ Williams said that was about $10,000
Right.
a year.
That's what it cost us. I was just
To
saying, we
maintain
can
it.
Right.
Yeah.
Maintain it, so it's $10,000
That's what
a year.
Russ-
to carry
That's
it.
Snowy mowing along.
So, but you said the owners didn't want to buy it.
Well, there was only 4 of the 10 owners present.
Well, that's probably.
I've got 2 more, their contact information since. But again, if you make the offer to them and they don't, and there's 2 of the businesses there do very well.
Valuable, yeah.
They do very well. So But if you make an offer to them, that say the price is right, you know, they have to have that parking, they have to have that, so.
Well, I think we should offer to sell it to them for what we paid for it. We're not giving the taxpayers any hit, we'll just pay what we paid, we'll just
What do you
ask.
pay for it?
$3.
$3.
I say we make a profit and sell it for $10, because ten is there. I mean, we can either do
Well-
one or two things, sell it to them for $1 a piece, or put a fence around it and put them out of business.
Let's do the inflation, let's do the inflationary index. What was $3 worth in 1953
Yeah.
compared to 28?
There you go.
About 3,000
Then
today.
it's breaking.
So whenever the township sells anything, or any municipality, they never pay any of the closing costs, that's always put on the purchaser. When banks or municipalities sell property.
Okay.
So we would not pay the
Okay.
closing costs to transfer. But we would just give them a quitclaim deed, that's how we got it, a
Sure.
quitclaim deed. And,
Is there any way we can notify them, have our attorney or something, just send letters, hey, you guys
well,
gotta, this
yeah,
is the deal.
we have to get them to agree to buy it.
Yeah.
We can't just,
But they might, I'm telling you, it's quite possible they're not gonna take any action.
but two of them are already said, the two, Suttons and Dorabelle, said that they are already spending money to plow and maintain it, for them to have assurance that they would have a parking lot.
The question,
Because if they don't take the deal, maybe we will put it
the
on.
question
Well, we're
is,
left with no other
we
alternative other than to do that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's,
So
we
this is for
quit
$3.
claim deed, let's say we quit claim deed it, but whose name is it gonna be in? If you have 11
So that's for them to
Yes.
work out amongst themselves, maybe the two owners, Suttons and,
If they're the only ones that are,
yeah, if they're willing to
If they're
pay
the
a buck
ones
and a
that-
half a piece,
But
they
again,
can
then
own the
the
parking lot.
liability's on their shoulders too, then instead of all 11 owners.
And maybe they can put a
Maybe-
fence up and only their customers can get to it, it would be their property.
or maybe they'll lease it to the other people.
Yeah.
They'll buy it and they'll lease it to the
I mean,
other
they're kind of
people.
already paying for everything.
So we just need to get away from the liability of this whole
Right.
thing.
Right.
And just, we need to wash our hands of it, and
I
if
think
somebody
that's
slips and
probably-
falls or
probably
whatever,
the
it's weird,
solution.
and they
even
no
if
problem.
somebody slips and falls there and we're not liable, you still have to pay an attorney to defend your
Sure.
municipality in court. It's going to come at a cost to the township, you know. And again, they're just, like I said, it just needs to go away. We're not in the parking lot business, we're not. But originally that was, downtown Drayton. And somebody at the township saw that, hey, this is an opportunity to make some money, we'll put up parking meters, we'll get metered parking, do this. Well, we didn't have a police department back then in 1950, well, we did, January 1st, 1953, we did get a police department. They had to have, I think we had 8 cops back then, and one of them was gonna be a meter maid, I don't think so, so I'm just saying, the feasibility behind it just was not, you wonder what motivates decisions like that, but you don't know. All you can read is what's archived, and it just doesn't, and they never did anything with it, it just sat there for years, and then, I know they built that retention detention pond in there probably 79 or 80 when they built. I actually lived right across the street on Fremy's from that, right there when they built it. And again, when I was a kid, that was the place to go. That strip in there was, it was jumping. It was jumping. In fact, the lady the other night to me, she said there was an alley through there, and that's why I informed her that was a drive-through for Pontiac State Bank.
Right.
That wasn't an alley, it was a drive-through for the teller
From the back of the building.
Yeah, to get through the teller window on the side of the building there.
Well, it's kind of interesting, I've got the history of it here, and what happened was, they were widening Dixie Highway up until that point, that they had parked along the road
Sure.
to go into those stores. They were able to do that anymore. So all the business owners pledged money and paid to purchase the lots. And they paid, I think, $1,000 for that. And the original discussion was going to be, or the original discussion was that they were going to put it in the trust with the township. We wouldn't own it, we would hold it in trust, like those lake access lots and whatnot. For some reason, that never happened, and the next thing that showed up are the quitclaim deeds, selling it to the township for $1 for each of these
Okay.
pieces of property. And therein is the seeds of our problem today. We took ownership of it.
So you said at that meeting last week, there was 2 interested parties, Sultan, you say?
Sutton's
Sutton.
Common.
Sutton, is that the one down the far end there?
They're in kind of
Right in the middle.
It's the
Okay,
straight.
and I know the people that own the bridal shop there, I know the other ones that were interested in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he said, the guy, the owner of Adora Bell said he's interested in hearing what the options are.
Right.
I think if we offered to sell that to them for what we paid for it,
Oh, yeah.
they would take it just as insurance, that they would never lose their
And you know, it just seems that they would have to, because Joe Blow can buy it and basically say, you guys have no parking unless you, you know, I'm charging you $100 a month or
Right,
something,
right.
so.
I brought it up at the meeting last week, that if somebody bought it and say they want to put a Burger King in the back there.
You can't even put Burger King
they'd
in
be
there,
all
but,
right. Huh?
but you're right, yeah, if somebody wanted to put something in there, there's not enough space to put
Well,
it.
I know.
They'll really build
There could
anything
be
back there,
something
but
there.
You'd probably build a house there.
I don't even think you put a house in
That's
that
kind of
property.
big back there, really.
It is.
But
But-
now you keep that retention
Yeah.
pond in there and you do setbacks.
But that's
and
all
stuff,
your
it's just-
setbacks, with your retention pond, your setbacks.
Right.
Is that retention pond, was that by ordinance, they had to put that in?
Well, but yeah, probably water drainage and stuff out of the parking lot, storm drains going out into the road ditches, Oakland County Road Commission right away. I remember it used to flood real bad right outside, right there on front, used by behind High Performance, used to flood in there all the time. Used to always flood in there, so. But again, that's all directed watershed off of hard surface. Comes out and that's your low spot right there, and that's where the water gathers. There's really no ditching right there. Comes off that bank and comes down and just lays right in there and kind of goes up to Dixie Highway again, so. So, but anyways,
So where do we go from here? Do we notify the owners? I say we, I'm assuming Gary will do it, or
yeah,
Dover?
I'll reach out, I'll reach out to them and talk to them. We'll have Dobry if we're in agreement, I'll have Dobry draw up an agreement
I'm in agreement, I mean.
in short
I guess.
form.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll draw something.
And a half hour
You know,
class, what can you come
What's
up
that?
Do we need to
Yeah.
vote on it
Yeah, we can do a consensus on it, yep.
in a
Yep.
board meeting?
Yep. No, we
No,
can do
you're
a
right
regular
here.
work
This is an
session.
open meeting.
It's open to public, yeah.
So we'll just move forward with this. Eventually it'll come to the township board meeting.
Yeah, but we bring a board meeting with venture, we're good with going forward with that then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's a good
okay.
plan.
Yeah.
Okay, so I said I got 2 more contact names since then, and we'll keep working on it. The trouble is assessing, they don't have telephone numbers, all they have is addresses, and you mail the stuff out, register mail, and you don't get a response, you don't get a return, so you know they got it, but, you know, so, but yeah, but 2 of the people there, they have, but they rent them out.
Was Steve Elliott there?
No, he was not. I do have his telephone number now too.
Because he was working with the county to do a
Right.
design, so he is looking at doing something with that building. I would have thought he
Right.
would have some interest.
Well, then again, like I said, we had 2 board members who can't make it that night, we had people in the
Step
public
on
can't
that.
make
That's
it,
true.
building owners, so yeah,
Yeah,
it's one of those things.
Very
It
likely.
happens, so Forrest Gump find that same.
So let me, tell me the names of the people that you have, and I have a resource, I might be able to find some additional contact information.
Sounds shady.
I noticed you were whispering.
I have my methods.
You have the contact information to the private shop?
Yep,
Well, I
Can I give you
mean,
Dave's number?
yeah,
He actually
he's
showed
there.
up.
he
yeah.
gave me his number and
Yeah,
hers.
okay, I got
both.
Dave's
Yep.
number if you
Yeah,
need
Dave
it.
gave me his number, both they gave me their numbers, and then, the guy from Sutton gave me his.
Okay.
And there's one other one that I had, and then there's 2 others, so I got 5 of the 10 right now.
I can't develop a service, I know when I call Kurt Simpson up about a property that needs some repair, Kurt always seems to find a contact number. But they have it up here in the 3rd floor, for the other parcels that,
If they've ever done it.
If they dealt with them and stuff, yeah, but,
Okay.
yeah, but just, I said, I got the names originally from Assessing to send the letters
Yeah.
out, and Assessing doesn't, I got telephone numbers, so. They have addresses
I
only,
just feel that the sooner we get rid of this, the better for us.
you know. Because God knows if that 2 inches of rain tomorrow, the grass is gonna grow, and it's gonna need to be mowed, and so. We have to do it. We don't want violations on our own property as a township ordinance,
What
of
good
inches of
way.
grass or more. No, not really, so.
Who owns that vacant lot across from Adora Bell? The,
Burke Lumber,
Brick lumber.
Brumbies and
that,
Dixie.
that lot that's just vacant.
Yeah, right in the corner of Brumbies and Dixie. Yep, Burke Lumber,
I'm
Harold
just wondering if
Drains.
they were gonna do something with that.
That's where Burke Lumber used to sit till
Really?
1970, yep. That's where brick lumber's at.
Be nice if it was cleaned up and it was a little park or something.
So, trying to get it listed. Does have it listed. There's a for sale sign in front of it now.
Mm.
So, and then, the other thing on the radar is the police and fire SAD coming up, so, I get a show this week, I didn't say Waterford, but both, fire chief and the police chief. And we're gonna go over talking points. See where we're at again, like I said, every time you turn around, like I said, what the chief is talking about here with the armor vests and the helmets. I mean, it's needed, but again, finding the funding for it and making it happen sooner than later, that's, like I said, that's.
Are there fact sheets that we handed out still, are they downstairs anywhere?
I have some on my counter.
Yep.
Okay,
It's available online, as
Yep.
is the
Oh, is it?
calculator now.
okay.
So that you can put your address in and they'll tell you exactly what it costs you on your property.
Okay.
And Shelley's got that online. In fact, John and her talked today, and she's gonna move it to there was, whatever you wanna call it, there was a place there to move it to. Like when you come up on the screen, there's some boxes across there with, and that was gonna be the first box.
Right on the front page of the website.
Oh, okay,
And that,
okay.
and like I said, you just punch in your address, or if it's a vacant piece of real estate, you don't have an address, you put in your signal number, either one. And I mean, as soon as you hit the last digit, bang, it shows the number right there. Yep, right there. Yep. And I know it's right because I had Shelley punch in the system, it came up with my method of math right now, and so the system's right.
Is that an approximation or is that
No, it's based
Spot
on the
on.
taxable value of your house for 2018.
for 2018?
2018.
Yeah, we got the
Okay.
adjusted numbers out of assessing. We had the
Okay.
original projected numbers, and then we got the
Remember they
adjusted
told you that,
numbers,
okay.
and then we got the revised numbers after they were done with the tax tribunal, or the appeals.
Okay,
The tax appeals in the spring went to them, we got the adjusted numbers in there. And they were very, very close to our original numbers, so,
okay.
very
So
close.
if you remember, that one woman came up at the meeting and said that she calculated hers was $1,000. Well, she had told us.
That young lady right there. Did you
So-
redo it? Did you
so,
redo
you
your
know, you
calculation?
probably
I'm gonna look,
use-
I haven't looked, but now that you
So,
said,
I
it's
think-
Waterford Township
Yep.
website, yeah.
So
I got it right
what
here. If you give me
we
your
think
address.
you used was your
Yeah.
assessed value, not your taxable value, and that's how you came up with the higher
No,
amount.
you just purchased the house, right?
Right.
She's on cap, a taxable and assessed
So
are the same.
yours is like 337.
336.
Well, you checked me?
336.12.
Because you told us you lived
That's
on.
scary.
You said you lived on Tina Marie, and
Yeah.
your last name was Coyle.
So you checked me.
I have my methods.
Oh, like you said,
So,
But it was good.
I'll be aware.
Three.
No, I'm gonna check.
When you check 336.12, see how close, call me and let me know how close you were.
3612.
What's your address? What's your address?
$336.12.
You wanna give it to me?
are
Oh,
you
that's what
there?
you said?
I'm there right now. It's working right now.
$36.12. That's what the system.
So there's just too many numbers out there, assessed value, taxable value. Did you remember to divide by 1,000? There's all of that, so it's better to have this calculator and let people.
Well, that will be helpful.
Yeah, you
for
take
sure.
your taxable value, divide it by 1,000, and then multiply it by 2.95. And that's,
Wait, see, is there any others? Because
It might just be this room.
Wait, for the website?
No, I
Wi-Fi.
can't get on the internet.
Oh.
are you Carmen's sister?
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought you looked familiar. I looked at you and looked at you and looked at you, and I just looked over there. I
So
said, that's Carmen's sister, yes.
You can just
Yes.
type in the street name and it'll come up, all the on that street.
Did you know DB?
It's pretty cool.
Yes. I didn't. I haven't lived here in a long time.
Okay,
Yeah, but, no, I know. I mean, I know the situation.
that was a tough day there, I'll tell you.
Nothing will be personal anymore.
Technology's grand. Doesn't give you
Yeah.
name.
Scary
Doesn't give
too,
your neighbor.
you know?
Oh,
that's, you're not losing your mind.
okay. Well, we gotta figure this out before the meeting.
Yeah.
Well,
See,
one
what's
consolation to losing your mind is you have to have a mind to lose the
What's
person.
Jared's phone number? Do you know Gary?
It's a silver lining in every
It's
cloud.
too bad.
Jerry?
Yeah.
It's Jerry's phone number.
Jerry, who?
Jared.
Or Jared.
I think
Jared
we're lacking
Black.
in that area.
Yeah,
Clueless. I don't ever have time to talk to him onto the phone.
the Wi-Fi's out.
No, the password changed.
Oh, Really?
Oh,
Are you under public access?
Yeah.
It's public, capital P, no space, capital A. Access, AACC,
Oh.
sorry. Like, why are you not typing?
It's done and nothing happened.
Is it up?
Okay, so
Check.
what was it?
It's public access, yeah,
Capital P, capital A.
yeah.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
but you said it was under Waterford that Waterford Township website, right?
Yes, it's right on the front page, I just found it. yeah.
Cancellation, I saw a flip phone.
Oh, you don't get connected to the internet?
No, so I just looked at my tax bill to the map. Like I said, it was fail safe.
Okay. I should call Sue and tell her I got it.
Okay, so anyways, on the police and fire SED, more to come, so. Okay, anybody else, anything else they wanna bring up and go over? I got a lot of other things, but I left them behind for another meeting.
Anybody have any comments regarding Ellen Getz's email regarding
I
shredding
was-
some medical marijuana?
I owe her a phone call.
School incidents.
I was just gonna call her and say that I appreciate, her wanting to meet, but I mean, we're kind of
Well, I
at a
met with
standstill.
her
Oh, you
in
did?
Justin, yeah.
Okay.
About a month
Well,
ago.
yeah, but I think this is to introduce to new people.
Oh.
So I don't see a need for it at the moment, but
Me neither.
No,
everything's.
I haven't answered back.
I owe her, I can, if you want, I can call her and say that we had a work session and we all feel that
Yeah,
Do that.
at this,
yeah,
at
good
this
time.
time, we're not really
I
ready.
responded back that nothing's changed, it's exactly the same as it was the last time you were in. And I don't believe there's any information we're gonna come out with that's gonna change anybody's mind at this time.
Okay.
And you see the controversy in Wall Lake?
No,
15 license applications for a community
Here's
that's
the
2.5
for
square miles,
Orange County.
7,000 residents.
Yeah, I get it.
That's how small Wall
I
Lake
got
is.
my office, yep.
They only have
And they have
7,000
their own
residents.
police and fire too.
Did you get it? I just texted you, I figured it out, John helped me out.
No, I mean, there's a lot of people up in arms about this. They're saying it's way too much for the density of the population.
Karen and Gary said if we are all willing, that Karen could be our spokesperson.
To call Lynn Getz.
Yeah.
And tell her that I've gotten an email from her.
Nothing's changed.
Yeah.
I'm MMA. Nothing's changed.
When did you talk to her?
She sent an email out.
I know, but when did you email her back? How long ago?
I called her about the message,
How long ago?
I just got an email.
probably
from her.
within the last 7 days.
Yeah, because I just got another email too.
Yeah, too.
When,
Yesterday, the day
I'll
before.
tell you right now.
I got one 2 weeks ago and then another one. It's the same one. But
yeah, the people that are pursuing this are
Nothing's
relentless.
they're lobbyists, of course they're gonna pursue it.
No, there's
It's what they do.
business owners and.
Well, yes,
and the
but I see where
township, and they
she's
just-
coming from. That's her job.
Sure.
She's a salesperson
Yeah.
for the industry.
Along with Justin.
Right.
That's what they do.
No.
Doesn't make them bad people.
No,
Not at all.
no. It just explains why they keep emailing.
But again, I remind people, and if you think any differently, you need to retrain your thought process. They're growing dope and selling dope in Waterford Township right now illegally.
Oh, I know
And
that.
it's gone on for.
Decades.
When I was in high school, it was going on, and I've been in high school the better part of a half a century, so it continues to go on.
You know somebody.
I have one that.
But the bottom line is, they said it does go on, so that is, they said, if and when it ever does get legalized, and it sounds like it's gonna go on the ballot. Well, they got the signatures.
For recreation.
For recreational.
Do you know insurance rate, car insurance rates will go up around 25% if that goes through?
They don't tell you
Because of
that.
liability.
Yeah.
What I don't
Right across
understand
the
about
board.
that is it's still illegal federally.
Right.
That's
Yes.
my.
That doesn't,
take.
how can the state put something on the ballot that's illegal on the
Federal
federal
level.
side?
Well, Kego Harbor already approved it. They had it voted, they approved it last year, I think it was, or 2 years ago.
Opted in.
Recreational marijuana.
How can you, it's not even state approved for that.
It's a wild,
But anyway, they're not telling you that part of it. The insurance, the Michigan,
Well, Ed lives
automotive
in,
insurance will go up at least
Oh,
25%.
Paul's brother lives in Colorado, Colorado Springs, where,
What's the difference?
and he keeps busy, he fixes cars.
Don't.
So
Don't.
he's got a constant, he's got more work than
That's
he
the
can-
upside.
I
There you
mean,
go. That's
it's
why
75
insurance
miles
is
an hour, but you come by these high doggies and they're sitting there going
25.
40 miles an hour.
But remember, in 2016, nationally, the first time ever since these stupid phones came out, there was more people killed in the United States by distracted drivers than there were drunk drivers in 2016. Okay, and we're talking about our federal government, why don't they get off their butts and get off their phones and everything else and start working on law to enforce that? Because they said they killed more people killed in car accidents by distracted drivers.
There
than
was a
drunk
thing for
drivers in 2016.
distractive driving that they were doing on
Yes,
certain
they do
corridors.
stings, they just like they do stings for click it or ticket or
Right.
drive sober or get pulled over, I mean, they do stings for that, but again, the bottom line is the bodies are piling up, you know, so,
We need
good
those
for all
autonomous
information.
cars like stat.
well,
Why can't the signal be jammed when you get in the car so you can't use your phone?
Instead of making it easy to.
There is a
I don't
setting
trust
on
the
your
autonomous
phone
cars at all.
that you can
They're gonna
do,
drive by themselves.
and parents do that for kids' phones.
Mm-hmm.
So if you call, it's an automatic
Go
text
around
back to
the
who's ever
They could
calling you,
kill
I'm driving and I
somebody.
can't take your
Could
call
hand
right now.
somebody over a pedestrian on a bike.
So parents can disable our features,
but parents are the ones that accommodate the kids and give them to in the first place.
because we have to be in contact.
I've seen.
How were you in contact with
No,
your
we
parents
all
when you were a
survived,
kid?
we all
Right.
survived,
Well,
but
number one,
it's,
I did what I told her I was supposed to do, and there were severe consequences when I got
Right.
home. And the rest of the time, they knew where you were and what was going on. and
Because
what
every
kind of
neighbor
drug, you
was-
know, and-
it's
It's
true,
radio
everybody
and
was
game.
watching, nobody's watching it anymore.
Yeah, that's.
And you could always go to a
Can't stay in contact with your
payphone.
kid, get a pager.
Oh, those, I
Or
remember.
beep
those
or
days.
whatever.
They
Remember
would
the
never
girls
be able
went
to
on
figure
dates,
that
they
out.
always had a dime in case they had to go to a payphone and call home for a ride.
Mine was a quarter.
In case
by
the
the
idiot,
time.
they went out, one was being stupid and you could call them. Now they can just text, Mom, I'm with a real idiot, I'm walking home. You know, I got a grandson, the same name, and he's got a Facebook page. Now I can hardly wait till I start hearing from people on that. What that hammerhead puts out there at 11 years of age. I can't believe it. She allowed to get a Facebook page.
I'm surprised he wanted one, because that age doesn't want Facebook. Those are for old people.
Yeah, Facebook
Yes.
is middle age.
Not my kids are.
If I lived to be Methuselah's age, which I think was 983, I don't never want to be on Facebook.
Well, then you're fashionable, because old people are what's on it.
Let that be a fashion statement.
Just try Snapchat or Instagram.
So,
Yeah, Twitter.
Oh yeah,
anyways,
Twitter's the new thing.
what else have we got to discuss?
Got that article I sent you on that concrete? Did you get a chance to read it? Maybe Shelley, maybe she pigeonholed.
Oh, quality of concrete, yeah. That's what I suggested at the meeting that night that Tony spoke out, and, you know, quality of product
Mhm.
and workmanship,
Warranties?
yes. You know, but I was berating them, so.
How do you
I don't know
enforce that? How do you,
No, you can't, it's up to them, but
You're inspectors, that you do samples, you sample concrete. You
but
do-
how do we make them do that?
we can't make them do it. They'll
You
do
can't
what they
make
want.
them do that, but I mean, how about responsibility to your fellow man? How about the fact that you're now to see how many hours you can pad the time book, you know, to get the best for your pension down the road. You got a job, you got a responsibility to do, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you can't make them do anything over there. I mean, they've got their own mindset, and if you say something they don't like, you get emails sent to you.
Who's
Saying, well,
this?
maybe we won't do a project
Road
in Waterford. Come
Well, I
on.
talked to a road commission guy today, matter of fact, and he said they put a warranty on the road for 15 years.
Where?
Who does? The county
A
does?
Road
a
commission.
laughing warranty?
Yeah,
Usually
that's why I
the
said,
contractor's
well, I
gotta
said,
put a
yeah.
warranty out, and then when the one they want, when the county wants them to fix it, they'll just go bankrupt, and I'll put it in my brother's name, the company name.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
said,
Get
he's,
out of there.
But your liability carrier, when you did the job, is liable.
That's true.
That
the
never goes
license
away.
to
Yeah, but
buy
if you're out
that's
of it,
true.
But it doesn't matter,
It
your
doesn't, yeah.
liability carrier you have when
That's
you did
true.
that project, they're liable for that.
Well, what happened with Telegraph and all these other roads that they redone?
Walton,
Well, that's a different.
Telegraph's an MDOT road, Dixie's an MDOT road, and then 59's an
okay.
MDOT
But
road, so
what
that's a
happened-
state.
but how is
But wouldn't it be
Wal-
the same type of warranty though with County State? I don't know.
Let's just go to Clintonville Road. When I was out picking up Earth Day, okay, they recapped Clintonville last year in July.
Okay.
Earth Day was
April.
April 21st. The northbound shoulder on the right-hand side of Clintonville Road's coming apart. It's busting up.
So who do we call?
And I had my biannual meeting with the road commission. He said, well, it's the quality of dirt they put on the shoulder. I said, excuse me? They put it on the shoulder. You guys must have approved it or allowed them to do it or get them back out to replace it.
Okay,
Okay, so it's
inspected?
the quality of dirt, it still has to be warranted, so get them back out here and redo it.
Yeah,
Before they
but I'm telling you,
cover it up,
this
it
is-
needs to be
You
inspected.
can talk
the
to
answers you
you
get
blue
to
in the
show.
face and
Clintonville Road kinda goes up and down a little bit, and down in the little spots, that stuff is washed out along the edge of the road. Water laser, freeze thaw starts popping up and it's busting, it's not even a year old. But I was told, we did 8 preservation overlays in Waterford Township, and I never got a word of thanks from you, Supervisor Wall. I said, I didn't realize it was my responsibility as a township supervisor to thank anybody at the road commission for doing anything,
thank you.
Doing their job.
you know?
But you did recognize the work at the state of the township.
State of the
Yeah,
township,
You did.
and we mentioned it at the board meeting too.
Yep.
In fact, I had people say,
And
yeah,
you
Wall
didn't
was over on the
mention-
Clintonville Road and they're redoing his road, so I had to hear
It just
that.
makes you wonder, they talk about they got no money, but they get all these new projects they're starting, and they cannot fix what they are, maintain what they already have. You know, my street is just like a war zone, like bombs come, and I won't sign a petition for SAD. I want them to just grade it back down the dirt, put it down the dirt for me.
We had,
I'm so frustrated with it.
2016, you know, they send out their projects for the year. Their project was 58 projects for the year, okay? 55 of the 58 were cities or villages, 3 of them were townships, okay? And the townships were joint operations like, you know,
Waterford,
Orion, like Orion Township and the city of Lake Orion and Oxford and the village of Oxford, you know, we did, where they crossed over. The 55 of the 58 were cities, okay? The last I checked, cities are responsible, cities and villages take care of their own roads. Or contract with the road commission to do it, but that's their responsibility. 55 of the 58 projects are for cities. This year I had a resident call me about, was 20-some projects on there, and every one of them were cities, none of them were townships. But that was, they got an extra $1.3 million and the matching 1.3, well, for 2.6 million, you're not gonna do much road work, trust me, not for 2.6 million. But it was a little bit here in the stretch here and fixing this intersection and fixing that, but it was like 21 or 22 projects, those were all cities too, so. I guess we were very fortunate to have the 8 preservation overlays we got here in Waterford last year, but again,
That are now failing.
there's a bomb crater right across from the cemetery there on Crescent Lake Road that I saw the day after Earth Day when I was still up picking up garbage, a guy got my window down, I heard it go bang. When he hit it, he pulled into Fire Station 1 and his driver's side front tire was as flat as the asphalt was, done. And again, that was done in July of last year, so it's already failed. So
What side is it on?
it would be on the,
North.
it would be on the northbound side of Crescent Lake Road, just
At the cemetery.
just before Standard Street. Yeah,
Is it near the shoulder or where is it?
yeah, right there, right near the shoulder. Yeah. And it's-
But
it's all washed out
I'm
right
a
there.
drunk driver when I drive down these
Oh, I do
roads.
too, yeah.
But it's all washed out right there, and the water lays in
And
there, and it got in there, freeze off,
They
just
pick out drunk
busted it
drivers
up.
now that just go straight.
But that's, the preservation overlay is 3 inches, and this is like a foot deep, so that's taking the old base and this and everything's gone, so it just.
So
and again,
there's
this-
no method of accountability for any of this? I mean, no method, that you can't,
Try-
ordinance?
Try talking to one of the 3
Well, I
road
mean, I
commissioners
do
and see the
understand that,
results
but
you get from them.
seriously, there has to be
There was on
something.
the news about 2-3 months ago that save your repair bills, because there was possibly a class action lawsuit going
Someone
on.
wants to go.
4 years ago, I went to Florida. We drove to Florida. Drove all the way down, all the way back, got into Michigan, got up to
27.
Pontiac Trail, went down, it's like 10 o'clock at night. I hit a pothole on Pontiac Trail, and I mean, it was like jarred the car. And all of a sudden, 50 feet down the road, lost, the tires blew right out.
Bumpity, bumpity.
I turned it over to my wife, she called the road commission, and she let them have it, double barrels. And I don't know who she talked to, but it was $300 for a new tire plus
Right.
alignment. She sent the bill to them, and they agreed to pay half, so they paid half of my bill. I was really, really surprised. He really said, this was 3 or 4 years ago, he said, don't tell anybody.
Yeah, I heard they
So,
don't know.
it's not-
Maybe we should tell
Disclosure is
people,
just
maybe we
for
should put that on the
violating.
board
I
meeting.
was gonna say.
No, I agree, I mean, I think everybody should do it.
Call.
Class action lawsuit.
Be a pain in their butts if nothing else. I
Put it
call.
on
You know, you
Facebook.
do that at
Yeah.
board meetings,
Put that
and
Gary
I
Walker
guarantee you
up.
Dennis Kohler will be emailing Gary and say, well, maybe we're not gonna do that project over on Walton, in 2021. We have other
Right.
priorities. They're a different animal over there.
Well, people like to go, they love to go into the punishment mode, they're
Yeah.
gonna punish you. People are gonna punish you, they're gonna punish you, they're gonna punish you.
You know,
And they're
everybody
real,
plead to them.
real tough on emails. The keyboard cowards come out in droves. They're gonna
Keyboard
be-
cowboys.
They're gonna threaten you, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that.
Aggressive, aggressive, yes.
And look you right in the eye, hey, hi, how are you today?
Hey.
You know?
Gotta stop, my mom's calling me for dinner
That's a
in
new
the
one.
basement.
That's a keyboard coward.
But it is what it is, so, but again, and like I said, so, but good luck on the roads. We got more money going on Luminant. Like I said, it's just, there was the article in the Open Press the Sunday after that Monday night board meeting, where Tony made his statements and I made mine, that this is the Open Press headlines, it's still laying on my back desk at work. 70% of the roads in Oakland County are in poor condition. Now, the Oakland Mass wrote that article. I didn't say it. That was in the Oakland Press that day, the Sunday after that board meeting. It said 70% of the roads in Oakland County are in poor condition.
Did the road commission respond saying you're wrong?
I don't know what
You
kind
can't
of a
respond,
response they sent to the Oakland Press.
in the paper.
If they sent them an email to the
Yeah,
reporters that wrote it,
It might have been more than 70%.
Oh, there's probably no doubt, but, you know,
and as far as these are roads, these aren't secondary subdivision streets. These are primary trunk lines and, you know.
But why is upper part of Michigan and the upper peninsula, which has worse weather than us,
Yeah, right.
the roads are pretty nice?
because the way they distribute the money, you know, everybody gets their fair share, they don't have the traffic volume.
They
Yeah,
don't
we
use
have
salt
down
either.
here.
A lot of them don't use salt up there, they
That's
use,
true.
you know.
Sand,
That's
right.
true.
Yeah, there's so many
That
theories.
makes a
There's another
difference.
one where they get cold up there and they stay cold. Freeze, 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 thaw.
Right,
Down
there's
here,
one.
we freeze, thaw,
Right.
freeze,
Then
thaw,
the water
freeze,
gets
thaw.
in
Yeah,
between
but not under you don't get freeze on the road. Once that drives that down, the frost is driven down under the roads. That doesn't go
But all
away.
those little holes on the surface, freeze, thaw,
That's-
popping stuff. out.
Okay, this thing called crack seal.
So,
You crack seal, you fill those cracks so you can't get the
maintenance, it's
infiltration.
called maintenance.
Maintenance, that's right.
Yeah.
It's how you maintain your roads.
Yeah.
And they maintain them a lot better up there than we do down here.
You do see a lot
Because
of
they-
crack sealing up there, don't you?
Because they got the
All over
funds, you know,
the
they're not, they don't have the traffic, the count that we have down here.
I will
I really
gu-
believe the
I will-
Tri-County area should get majority.
I will
of it.
guarantee you Marquette County, I think all but one county in the Upper Peninsula is larger than land mass than the biggest county in the Lower
Oh, yeah,
Peninsula.
absolutely.
Which is saying, I'll guarantee you Marquette County does not get as much money a year for their roads as Oakland County does, I'll guarantee it.
So
But
do
they
you
don't
think
get as
they,
much.
do
You
you
think
think
Oakland
they
County
distribute
I know
it
they
by
get-
population or by density, by
What's
square, like mass?
I don't know how
or
they do
by-
it, they should do it by lane miles is how the money should
Right,
be distributed.
right.
I would think intelligently that would be the way to do it. But they don't have near the roads in the European, but you know, you do have logging trucks and you do have
It's true.
mining trucks. And they do have concrete trucks up there and lumber trucks and roofing delivery trucks. But just not at the volume they have down here, they don't, but still at the same time. And there's a lot of marshland, a lot of swampland up there too, you know, where it's not necessarily the most stable soil in the world, but other than that, it's pretty sandy. But I mean, again, it's accountability for workmanship and quality of product and what you put down.
Whose idea was it or is it to put all this coal patch in these holes and not pack them down?
I have no idea.
It is the biggest, they might as well throw $50 bills in those holes
Right.
and let them blow away.
Yeah, they,
Because
I
Yeah,
Because
got,
right.
within 1 week, they're back to the hole.
yeah, I
Cars
had a call
go-
from somebody today, they saw them just tossing it in with shovels, they didn't even step on it or nail
No,
it
that's
down.
what they do.
They just drove it, they
Somebody
didn't do
should
anything.
record
They
it
just
and
threw
send
it
it
in
to
there
the
and drove
news.
away.
Yeah, but it's,
They're just, they're gonna
you-
say that's the way we do it,
you blow them out, bond
Dry
spray
them
them,
out.
put it in hot beds, compact it, it'll be there for 3 or 4 years.
Well, they used to tamp it down, but the unions got that's cruel and unusual punishment for the guys.
Oh, God.
So they get away with
Get
it.
it
Now they
compact.
let the cars go over it, and that doesn't
Get a
work.
compactor to compact it down, with the same you compact sand and vibrate it down, do that.
Well, that's so hard on you,
That's, it used to be a workout machine.
At $25 an hour, and shake me around too.
That's your workout, you don't have to go to the gym.
Right,
There you go.
Shake it, baby, shake
Making
it.
money and losing weight.
But
Like,
again, I
that one
said
Alka
it just,
Seltzer commercial guy that had one of the jackhammers under his big belt.
plop, plop, this, oh, I believe it is, yeah.
Be the job posting for
The
that.
AC finally got to you?
Huh?
The
Yeah.
AC finally
Yeah.
got to you, okay. So, anything else? Nothing? Okay, we've got a board meeting and then we've got closed session after the board meeting.